Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse Duplantis here, reminding you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos here on our YouTube channel. Remember, that's like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now, enjoy this great video.
Every time we get in a plane, we break a law called gravity. But we have to break it not by just saying it. Okay, plane, just get up. No, we have to we have to incorporate two other laws to break this powerful law called gravity. And what are those two other laws? The law of thrust and the law of lift. Put them engines. All of a sudden, gravity goes, oh no. We can't hold them down. We're going to try to hold them down. But we keep applying thrust. We keep pushing against gravity. And lift. I mean, they move those flaps back and forth. Come on. And we're grabbing that air. And gravity said, no, no, no. And we fly right over gravity's head. Now, we can be up at 40,000 feet doing 585 miles an hour. I've been there many times. Now, watch this. And boy, that plane just a-cooking. The minute we touch the throttle, if you think gravity's giving up, you're living in a dream world. It's all around us saying, if he'll back off, I'll throw him in the ground. We're flying. I'm walking around in 72 degrees, and it's 70 below zero outside the plane when you're that high. I'm walking around there. Bubbles, Angelique, she's my flight attendant, wants something to eat. No, David or Ken will say, Jesse, you need something? No. And I'll say, David, come back here. I want to talk to you. Now, we have an automatic pilot. Now, every once in a while, they want to disobey you. It'll give you a little shake. But, I mean, David knows how to keep that thing working. Now, watch this. The minute David touches that throttle, the slightest little touch, gravity takes over. Okay, we're getting him. We start going down. You see, the minute you touch your faith thermostat, it's going to get hot. You see what I'm saying? It'll happen every time. I don't care how much faith you got. I don't care how much anointing you got. You have to stay sustained into your vision and don't touch it to get where you want to go. Then, as you're coming down, when gravity thinks it's got you, you're still controlling it with the law of thrust and lift until you land. Now, sometimes, where's David? Where's David? David, is he in here? David Deloach. Where you are, David? Now, David sometimes lets gravity get to him. Boom, and he just landed the plane. I thought, Jesus, help us, Lord. What happened? I said, you want to buy a set of tires? Oh, no, boss, I lost my air. Now, it's so funny. Ken don't ever say nothing. He just go. Now, Aurelia used to work for us, which is David's wife. And when he'd have a hard land, Aurelia go. And we always razz him about that, because sometimes you're going to have a hard land. So he tells me the other night, they said, now, Brother Jesse, we're going into this town. It's only got a 3,900-foot strip. What'd you say? He said, I'm going to put this baby on the numbers, and I'm going to hit reverse thrusters, because in the next 20 seconds, we're going in the grass. So I'm sitting there, and then boy, on the plane doing this, and the crosswinds. Boy, and I can see David. I see his neck starting to get tight. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Boy, and here we go. All of a sudden, that plane starts talking to us. Flaps, 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 flaps. Sink, sink, sink. Pull up, pull up, pull up. It talk to you so if you do something wrong. 500 feet, 200 feet, 100 feet, 50, 40, 30, 20, boom, 10. I said, where's the 10? Well, we lost the air. Man, David hits that thing, boom, and all you hear is, whoo, that plane just doing this. Now gravity is in full power. You follow what I'm saying? That's your vision. You got to remember, if it's flowing good and everything going good, it hadn't give up. It's all around you to take you down. Then there's sometimes He barely touches it. And he just scoots on there. And we all applaud. You can tell we never let him forget it. Hallelujah. But you got to know something. Now, you see, I own that plane, but I can't fly it. It would be very stupid for me to say, David, sit in the back. I'm flying home. You know, David going to say, hey, brother Jesse, I love you. I think I'm going to spend the night here. Why? That's not my vision to fly it. Are y'all getting this? That's perfect abandonment. Even though I have the power to get in that seat, it's not my vision. I stay within my vision, which brings me to this next point. Every living thought must blaze a path for itself, both in word and in deed. Let me say it again. Every living thought must blaze a path for itself, both in word and in deed. This is the moment of truth. Now, even though he's the captain of that aviation department, and I got a co-captain, and I have a flight attendant, and she watches over me, make sure I got what I want to eat or what I want to drink or whatever, blah, blah, this and that. That's all wonderful. But if something goes wrong financially, they all come to the back. Brother Jesse, we got to change the brakes. I know. I've been in this plane when you put the brakes on them. But we found out we got 700 landings, David, on brakes, which is, God even takes care of our brakes. You got to understand, even natural things. I had a man tell me one time, he says, man, God must love you. You got air conditioners that last 20-something years. I've had air conditioning. I have a light bulb in my old house that's 25 years old and it's still burning. God is my witness. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to sell this house pretty soon. And I thought, I'm taking that bulb with me. That bulb has served me well. My God, 25 years. I just changed the air conditioner, you know, what they call those, what's those big things outside? What they call compressors and all that kind of stuff. Just the other day, not too long ago. I mean, and now, and the guy said, you're only supposed to get 5 years out of this thing. I said, no, you don't understand. I've laid my hands on everything I have. I've asked God's anointing on my physical stuff that it will last. Now, I realized that after a while, they get old just like people. And I went out there and I could hear him. And just sweating like a dog. I'm for you, but I ain't going to last much longer. I said, come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Finally, man. And instead of just throwing it away, I went out there and I said, you know, you served me well. Now, people say that's stupid. Well, go ahead and buy several of them. While you were paying for several of them, I never paid a dime. Now, you see, why? Because I expect my physical stuff to work like my spiritual stuff. Oh, y'all understand what I'm saying here? This is what God said. I want it to work. I want it to function. I want it to function properly. So I pray over it. I ask God to bless it. People say, oh, I'm just so stupid. I have done that so many times in front of sinners. They put something together. I said, now, did you do it right? Yeah. I said, let's pray. Oh, what'd you say, bro? I said, I got to pray over this thing because you leaving. I don't know how to fix it if it blows up, but the Lord knows what's going on. I just pray over it. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but every living thought, you see what I'm saying, is blazing that path in word and deed. Now, listen to this. When you understand what God wants you to do, life will have a new meaning and fascination. Are you fascinated with Christ? Are you fascinated with his vision for you? Are you fascinated with your moment of truth? Me and Kathy will be, at the time of this preaching here, come June the 6th of this year, we will be married 41 years. 41 years. Now, Leroy and Carolyn Thompson, we celebrate our anniversaries together. They will be married 40 years on June the 5th, and me and Kathy will be married 41 years on June the 6th. So we usually get together and enjoy ourselves. Now, you know what I love about Leroy Thompson, and a lot of people don't like Leroy because you don't know him. That's a godly man. That's a wonderful man, a family man. He is fascinated with his wife, Carolyn. And he's helped me. I've had a hard time with saying things. You know, I was raised like, you don't say you love somebody. You know how Amanda, honey, I love you, me too. Yeah, women don't like that me too stuff. You know, Kathy says, say it, I want to hear. Look me in the eyes. Wait a minute, no. I mean, you know all that, woman, for God's sake. What's the matter? Just say it. Well, now, I'm still fascinated with her. That's not the issue. But it's hard for me. How many men know what I'm talking about? Come on, stand up, men. Help me out here, will you? Come on, stand up. Yes, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Glory to God. The rest of you men are lying like dogs. I know you lying, Richard. Richard said, I'm trying to get up. Now watch this. It's going to happen this year. I get nervous about it. It's the stupidest thing. I don't know. It's stupid. I'm the stupid one. Now I'm fascinated. For you people that did not hear what Kathy said, you don't need to hear what she said. But anyway, it's hard for me. I don't know why. Well, because I was raised as a kid. Boy, you don't cry. You're a man. But I'm 5 years old. Suck it up, boy. But a Mack truck ran over my leg. The bones are hanging. Put them back in there and start walking. That's the kind of guy where I was raised. Now, Leroy and Carolyn, their anniversary, remember, is the day before. So it's their day. I said, y'all ain't spending no money. Me and Kathy buying everything. We're going to be a blessing because this is your anniversary. And then the next day it becomes, he says, Jesse, leave your wallet at home. Whatever you want, anything. Me and Kathy, we're going to go eat. Now watch this. I have never done this in my life. Now I have the last 5 to 6 years. He likes to make a toast to his wife. I'm sorry, Leroy, I just got to tell the truth. And it's good. And when I first heard him do this, he picks up a glass of water, whatever we got there, and he says, now, Carolyn, I said, happy anniversary. I hope y'all enjoy it. He says, I want to make a toast to you. You are the love of my life. You are such a blessing, the mother of my children. You are I don't breathe without you. You're just such a blessing. I'm going, people hearing all this stuff. Kathy knows that gets me uncomfortable, man. I'm uncomfortable, you know. But he's teaching me. He said, now, Jesse. He does all this toasting. We all toast, and we have a wonderful time. And she just loves it, and he loves it. And it really is wonderful. I'm not being critical. It's just wonderful. It's a blessing. But tomorrow coming, Jesus. So, thank God. Jesus, what I said. He calls me the next morning. He said, are you working on your toast? He said, come on, Jesse, you got to say something, man. Come on, Jesse. He said, why you have such a hard time? I said, I don't know. I know you love Kathy. Yes, I'd do anything for Kathy. I'd die for her. That's not the issue. Well, maybe not die, but I mean, you know, no, I'd die. No, that's a joke. Perfect abandonment, mama. Perfect abandonment. You know, he said, are you working on it too? I said, yeah, what am I going to say? And Kathy just loves it. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you got it? You want to rehearse it? No, I don't want to rehearse it. He said, you got to do it. Come on, Jesse. You got to do this. And I believe the Lord told him to tell me that. So we're sitting at the dinner table. I got sweat running down the back of my legs. He says, Jesse, do you have anything to say? And Kathy just turns to me like, and they all know it. Come on, brother. I say, listen, Kathy, And she always had my back. She looks at Leroy and Kathy. He's doing the best he can. Which just destroyed the whole thing right there. You know? I want to say, you know. Am I telling the truth? It's hard for me. Why? It's stupid. It's stupid. But it's my moment of truth. I said, Kathy, this was last year. No, this one was 39 years. Leroy said, tell her you love her. Tell her you love her. I said, hang on, Larry, I'm going to get it here in a minute. I got to say the right things. She said, you don't have to say it. Thank you. No, I got to say it. I said, Kathy, you've been Am I right? I'm doing it. I forgot what I said, Kathy. I was trying to get it all out. I said, there's so much I can say. But time cannot afford it. And even Jody tells my daughter, come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Come on, just suck it up, Dad. Come on. You know, always talking about being a man. Be a man, Dad. I ain't telling y'all what I said, but it was nice. Was it nice? What did I say, guys? But it was a wonderful moment. She cried. I was crying too. I was struggling, man, and I shouldn't struggle. You know why I was struggling? It dawned on me. Because my grandpa, my uncles, and my dad put their vision in me. Suck it up, boy, be a man. And that's what it was. You know, man, that woman knows that. You eat today, didn't you? Now you can tell women, they don't like that, son. You got some clothes, you got a gift, you got some. That's the way I was raised. It was the wrong way. It was the wrong way. Now, I'm not blaming them. That's the way they were raised. But that still don't make it right. So Leroy and Carolyn came over the other day. He goes, hey, Jess, okay, where we going? I said, wherever you want to go, Leroy. He said, let's go to Hawaii this year. I said, okay, we'll go to Hawaii. We've been all over the place. Lord Jesus, you know. He says, working on your toast? I said, yeah. Help me. I said, I'm doing better. He said, you're doing better. I said, yeah, I'm doing better. He said, he said, now, boy, this 40-year one. I said, don't get too sloppy. He says 40 of me and Carolyn one. I said, that's great. He said, you working on it? Yeah. I'm going to get it, man. I'm going to get it. And I thought, but it was so frustrating that I couldn't say what I really meant. Or I didn't say it the way how you say, feel it? You see him struggling now on this. You know, but it's there. And she knows it. That's not the issue. But it makes no difference if she knows it. She needs to hear it. It makes no difference if God knows you. He needs to hear it. Am I doing good? look at Rich. He's talking to, he's the same way. I tell you, don't clap. Rich is the same way. It's not easy. But it should be. But what has happened over the years, somebody put in me what they do. Isn't that amazing? Let me say it again. When you understand what God wants you to do, life will have a new meaning and fascination. So, did you get up this morning and say, man, I'm saved. I got a great retirement plan. I'm going to heaven. Do you get excited about going to church? Now, let me close in this part two here. Do you get excited about serving your vision? And that can mean a bunch of different things. That can mean sweeping the floor or speaking behind the pulpit or whatever, you know. Do you get excited about serving that vision? Can I say something without sounding prideful or arrogant? I haven't wasted one dime on any partner's money in all my years of ministry. I'll tell you why. Y'all. Because when y'all started supporting, this is my first part, when y'all started supporting me, I didn't have nothing. You knew it. And you know, y'all wasn't making a lot of money back then neither. But I knew that those dollars you gave me meant a lot to y'all, that you could have used for your own family, for whatever. And I promised myself, and I promised, I only had one partner right here. This is it, him in Virginia. That's it. That I would never abuse that. Never. On anything, because someone thought of me. They obeyed God and they blessed my ministry. Or they blessed me. Yeah. I have kept that promise. Now people say, you live so good. Well, I can't help it if I'm blessed. I can't help it that I write best-selling books. Ain't my fault. I can't help it that I walk into a door and they want to give me $200,000 or $100,000 just to get started. This makes you feel good, you know. And I'm not bragging about that. I said, now I don't tell them that. I don't think that's worth that, but I was born at night, but not last night. They said, oh, you're not satisfied with that figure? Well, you want to up it? Sure. Then I found that the wealth of the sinner is coming over to the just. You see, it's the moment of truth. My whole life is directed by that moment of truth. Lord, what will thou have me do? If Jesus tarries and I go by the way of the grave, you know what I'm going to say as I slip out of here? Lord, what will you have me to do? Because I may die, but I'll never be dead. Did you enjoy it this morning? I want you to get that inside of you. Now, tonight, I want to finish this. I could go further, but I want to pray for a few people this morning. Tonight, I'm going to deal with, it is a sober thought that after centuries of Christianity, Jesus is dead to so many people. How can the ranks of atheism be growing? How? I'm going to deal with the will of God is known only in the light of relationship. And I'm going to deal with this. Christians rarely do unusual things, but we do usual things in an unusual way. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to miss tonight. I'm going to close out with this. And never permit yourself to be discouraged by opposition to your faith. You see, there's the word courage and the word discourage. What changes it is 3 letters. Now, you're going to let 3 letters change all them other letters? From courage to discourage? Or you're going to let 2 letters change curable to incurable? 2 letters. Or you're going to take 3 letters, change promise to compromise? 3 letters. C-O-M. Change the whole thing. When there's so many other letters in it. So I made up my mind that God, I had my Damascus Road experience. What do y'all have me to do? And it doesn't make any difference how long it takes, how quick it takes. My reputation is not on the line. Why? Because I don't know who I am. I've abandoned myself to his vision, to his obedience, to his work. That's why I don't get jealous. Let me close with it. That's why I don't get jealous when I hear ministries doing great things. Some of the big ones, without sounding private, I've preached with the biggest ministries in the world. I have. I've been with them all. And still invited to come with them. I get excited if 2 million people show up at a Reinhard Bunke meeting in Africa. It should be. His visions of blood-washed Africa. Isn't that fantastic? Instead of saying, tell you one thing, God, why don't you let me do that? I am doing that. That's my brother. I get excited when God used Marilyn Hickey and Joyce Myers to break prejudice against women. That women could preach the gospel in a powerful way. I get excited when God moved upon Kenneth Copeland to preach prosperity. So now a preacher can drive a decent car and live in a decent house. Or even have an airplane if so needed. That blesses me. Bless me that I had the honor of being on the board of directors of Oral Roberts University and be close to Chancellor Oral Roberts and his wonderful wife. To sit there and receive nuggets of truth from a man that changed this generation. And he was so concerned about me during Katrina that he called me. I have autographed books and notes from him. Are you okay? I was thinking about you. I'm your partner. He'd send me $200, send me $300. I said, Brother Robert, please. And he says, please, Jesse, teach me faith. Teach you faith? Go look at who are you? That's faith. He said, no, it's in dead up to his eyes. Humbleness. I've had the honor of spending the night in Jamaica in Frida Lindsay's house. She come walking out in her pajamas and her robe. She said, let's talk, Jesse. And I'm thinking, here's a lady who was not hardly barely a secretary, took Christ for the nations, to the world. And her husband, brilliant man before his time, Gordon Lindsay. Because without him, you wouldn't have heard of Jack Hill, A.A. Allen, or Oral Roberts. It was called the Voice of Healing. And they said it would dissolve. And God took it. She said, you like to walk and jog? I want to do that with you. And I'd go to Christ for Nations, and me and Frida would walk the track. Never in my entire life thought. But God was placing me. But I never wanted their vision. Because I knew God had given them that. I said, can I be a part of your vision? Let me be a partner to your vision. And then the other day, another wonderful woman that I had wanted to meet for years. Kathy was preaching in Hawaii, a woman's conference, and I was coming the next day to preach there in King's Cathedral for Dr. Jim Morocco. And I always heard about Mark Buntain, called the Angel of Mercy in Calcutta, India. What a man. What a mission. But he passed away about 20 years ago, and his wife, if I can pronounce it, Hulda. They said, I guess the ministry will fall. Sister Hulda said, well, if it's built on the Buntains, it will. But it never was. It was built on Jesus' faith and Jesus' vision. She's 82 years old. Well, I preached the next day now. She should have been going home. She stayed. She came to my service. I said, I've always wanted to meet you. It was Mother Teresa. It was Hulda's hospitals and doctors who treated Mother Teresa before she went home with the Lord. They were like this. And how many hospitals now?
Hundreds of hospitals, 600 churches.
600 churches. This is
feeding program for, was it 25,000?
Yeah. So I said, could we help? Let me help. I wanted to get involved. I can't do what you do, but I get involved what you do. You see what I'm saying? And yet, she was not supposed to be able to do that. But you see, the reason why she could do it is because it was her vision. Say, and God bless it. What is your vision? I go to some of you guys' churches, and I see growth. I see you people all excited and blessed. And I think, man, that's something. See, because I am so glad. I want everybody completing their vision. I want everybody's moment of truth to be just as important as anyone else's moment of truth. And that's what it's all about. Because you see, we're a team. And if we hang together, we are a success going somewhere to succeed. Give the Lord a hand clap for that.
This media is copyrighted by Jesse Duplantis Ministries for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this media or of any pictures or accounts without Jesse Duplantis Ministries' consent is strictly prohibited.